Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
Bigger larynx, which basically gives us a lower vocal range. As I say, not all men have that, but we generally have a lower vocal range. As we said, we have more body hair. We tend to shave. If we don't shave, we might grow a beard. We have more body on our chest, our abdomen, our legs and arms. That's not to say women don't have hair. Of course they do. And many may shave their legs or whatever else. But generally, it's not in the same degree as the hair that men grow, going back very much to human evolution millions of years ago, I guess. Right. And the other physical thing is that we sweat more. Men tend to sweat more than women. We have more active oil and sweat glands, so they secrete more sweat, basically. And it's interesting, really, that in many ways, men don't have the advantage that women do in the clothes that we wear, which can actually help to counteract the sweat that we suffer. I mean, if you go back, the Romans used to wear a sort of a toga type thing, a sarong type dress, you could call it, which obviously was helpful in the areas of sweat. And in actual fact, men wore things like skirts and dresses about 3000 BC, so 5,000 years ago, long before women ever adopted that kind of garment as a fashion item or something specifically for women. So it's interesting how, we tend to be stuck with shorts or pants, trousers, etc., which don't really help always on hot days like we've had. I have to say we've had lovely summer recently, but it doesn't help us that, we're kind of a bit stuck. But that's going off at a tangent. We do tend to sweat more, and maybe therefore have to be a bit more aware of things like deodorants, and most men are, I'm sure. So they're the physical characteristics. Would you say that you have all or some of those, Cuz?
Yeah, I would say I have not a deep voice. I think I don't have that. I sound like a boy most times. Yeah, but I don't have a deep voice. But I think I have pretty much all the other characteristics, but not the deep voice. Yes.
Okay, but you do have most of the others. Yeah, and I think probably again there's overlap. Some people have this, some people have that, but it's generally these things are cited as male characteristics. If we look at the more social side of things,
right? I
think men are thought to. Well, we know we have more strength, but also more courage. Now, I'm not so sure about that. I guess it goes back to our early human days, our caveman days, where it was our role to go out and bring back the bacon, to kill the beast, where I guess you had to be pretty tough, pretty courageous to go and do that with a spear or something like that. So that became part of, I suppose the gender roles were formed very early on. Yeah. With early humans, that the partner, the wife and the kids, she would stay back in the cave, cleaning the cave, doing the ironing or the equivalent in those days. But that would be her role, to be the homemaker, to look after the home and the kids. The man would be out, often in a dangerous situation to bring back the food, etc. A bit like we might see a bird bringing food back to a nest for its little ones. Same kind of process. And those early gender roles really have come right through thousands and thousands of years. And maybe it's only in recent years that we've seen a real fluidity about gender roles coming in, which is where perhaps a bit of confusion comes in, particularly, I think, to men as to what exactly these days our role might be in certain situations. So anyway, strength and courage, but we know women can be just as courageous as men. We've got examples of that in many ways, which we won't touch now. We'll be looking at feminine stuff next week. So so that's that. Men are thought to be independence, assertive independence, which I guess in some respects they can be. What about emotions? Now, this is quite an interesting one in terms of the male psyche. Would you say that men generally are able to talk about their emotions, their feelings?
I would say no.
Yeah, I think most men would agree with that. That probably is the case. Do you feel you can express your feelings? Do you talk about how you feel, your emotions?
Only when I'm trying to garner sympathy. But otherwise, you want to appear, not macho. I think that's not the word, but you want to appear like somebody that.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.